I'm going to introduce Bailey Suarez. She's with us again this year as she is the chair of the California Local School Wellness Policy Collaborative, which brings together state leaders committed to improving student wellness and academic success. Bailey's primary role is as the Community and School Engagement Manager for Dairy Council of California, representing the Let's Eat Healthy initiative. Her team is committed to empowering and equipping wellness leaders, school food service professionals, and health professionals with access to science-based nutrition education, agricultural programs, and ensuring access for nutritious foods for children and families. Please help me in welcoming Bailey. That's on.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today. Thank you to Kirsten, especially for inviting the collaborative to be a part of today's summit, and for all of the planning behind the scenes. What an inspiring morning it has been so far, and a challenge to follow after Los Angeles there and Dr. Rubicala. It's wonderful to see all of the work that's happening across the state. As mentioned, my name is Bailey Suarez. I am the Community and School Engagement Manager with Dairy Council of California, and I am also the chair of the California Local School Wellness Policy Collaborative. All right, so during our time today, we're going to focus on, sharing a little bit about the California Local School Wellness Policy Collaborative, who we are, our priority strategies, and how we're supporting school wellness across the state. We'll share some of those tools, resources that you can utilize to implement effective wellness policies, and then share a little bit about how you can engage with us this year. I know it is just before lunch, so we'll try to shorten this up a little bit because I know everyone needs a little stretch and a little something in their stomach. So to get us started, raise of hand. Anybody here familiar with the California Local School Wellness Policy Collaborative? Great. So we have a good group, but also some in the audience that are just new to learning about us. So we were established in 2012, and our goal is really to inspire school communities to take their wellness policy from paper to practice. So we are a collaborative of leaders across the state that are committed to improving student wellness and academic success. So our cause is here on the screen, where we empower school communities and partners to strengthen local school wellness policies and systems in California to support student whole health and academic achievement. So we, as a collaborative, we create and amplify science-based resources. We provide training and learning opportunities and really want to be that go-to resource to advise and support your work at the local level. We also really want to amplify what you're doing. So hearing so many stories today of the great work that you're doing, we look forward to finding those opportunities this year to share those throughout the state so that you can hopefully inspire other districts to take action. As you can see here on this slide, this was actually from our most recent meeting that we had at the end of August. This is our strategic dialogue meeting. It's a half-day event where we're really diving deep into what our priorities are going to be for the year, what do we want to accomplish, and what is that action plan looking like. We do have leaders all across the state, so we do meet virtually every quarter. We look forward to coming together at events like this or for our annual meeting in person. As you can see, we do have a really diverse member list as a part of the collaborative. When the collaborative started in 2012, California Department of Education and Dairy Council of California were the backbones and chairs of the collaborative. And we've grown over the years to include so many different members and partners, whether it be from government agencies, county offices of education, community partners, school districts, academia, and so much more. Oh, I do want to acknowledge the collaborative members that are in the room today. We are so proud that on today's agenda, we actually have 6 different collaborative members presenting. So for those of you that are in the room, do you mind just kind of giving a wave, share everyone? And also another little special shout out to Kirsten, who's a part of the collaborative, for coordinating all of this today. Thank you. These are leaders, as you've seen through their presentations, doing incredible work across the state, but they can also be that go-to resource in your specific community on how to take your wellness policy to that next step, answer any questions you may have, or connect us back to some of the resources in the collaborative. So I know you shared a show of hands on who's familiar with the collaborative, but I'd love to get a gauge on what's our experience level look like with wellness policies? You know, are we newer? Are we just starting out? Do we feel like we're experts? So maybe on a show of hands, who's still kind of getting familiar or maybe learning a little bit about wellness policies? Okay. And then how about those that feel like you got it and maybe you're a leader in your district or community? Yes, or somewhere in the middle. But it's great to see that there's so many people that are still shaping up those skills. As Miriam had shared, actually, hearing that those districts, that the second priority that they're wanting to learn about is wellness policies, really shows that why. Why is it important that we continue to share about local school wellness policies, share tools and resources, and provide that training and opportunities like this to be able to highlight some of the great resources to help you. So in this year, for 2024-2025, the collaborative has identified 3 different focus areas. We really want to prioritize this year in shaping up our LEAs to be in compliance, to focus on promotion and education. As you guys have seen over the last few years, and as been shared today, a lot of that work usually gets fallen on nutrition services, which primarily has a huge turnover in staff. And we're learning and hearing that there are so many people working in wellness that are looking for that basics. Going back, what is a wellness policy? You know, what am I supposed to be doing? So we really want to focus on sharing those messaging, sharing that message with school districts, help them get in compliance with the requirements, and getting them ready to go for their triennial assessments. So we're going to be focused on that this year. And we will do that through our training and tools. So the collaborative hosts Winning at Wellness webinars. So we have that virtual opportunity to engage with our audience, and then also in-person opportunities like this, and focus on our tools. The collaborative has created several tools, which I'll share about in just a moment. So making sure that we're updating those, making sure that they are ready to go to support you. And then also communication and outreach. So as I mentioned, we really want to amplify the work that you are doing at the local level. So making sure that we're communicating that and connecting with you through our quarterly newsletters. So what are those strategies? A few of those I have mentioned, but really focused on that training at conferences or through our Winning at Wellness webinars. Resource development, so making sure that we're keeping those tools up to date or creating new tools if there's a need identified that you are looking for to be able to support you. We do meet as a collaborative every quarter, and on those opposite ends, we do meet together as domains. So making sure that we're keeping in communication with leaders across the state to keep a pulse on what's going on in wellness. What are those challenges that you're seeing? What are those new funding opportunities that are coming up that we can share? So making sure that we're keeping engaged as members to be able to prioritize those school wellness initiatives going on across the state. And then we do have our newsletter, our webpage, and our social media. So keeping those up to date to be able to share out any important wellness initiatives with you. So what are some of those tools and resources? So we do have a webpage. It is healthyeating.org/CA School Wellness. And on our website, we do have a whole list of resources and guides that are available to you to be able to take action within your school district. So we have, if you're just starting out, we have a committee guide. And this local school wellness committee guide is really, sharing with you why do I need a committee? Who needs to be at the table? And what are we discussing? How often are we meeting? It's really that Committee Guide 101 for those that are starting out or even reconvening again. So it's a good place to a good start if you want to touch base back in with your committee and get started. We also have on the website a section dedicated to WISC resources. So what does that look like to implement WISC into your policy? So we have a variety of resources and guides and tools available to you on our website. And it was mentioned earlier, actually, but we have a triennial assessment template. So we did create a triennial assessment template a few years ago. And this is created to support LEAs through the triennial assessment process. And it really walks you through exactly how you can prepare. It has action plans and templates, guides, model policies, and it is broken up into 4 different components. So the first component is on the comparison of the model policy. So this here is really looking at what is my current language? How does it shape up? Do I need to update it? Do I need to elevate it? So focused on the language itself. The second component is all about the extent of compliance. So making sure that your schools are in compliance with the policy, and are they following it? I'm sure many of you know there's a policy in place, but what does that implementation even look like at the school level? The third component is about tracking your progress and reaching your goals. So creating an action plan, documenting and assessing those plans as you have created them, after you've created them. And the fourth component is about the triennial assessment report to the public. We should be communicating to our communities, what are we doing? What are we doing in wellness to be able to share that with our families, with our educators, and in our community. So the triennial assessment template is free. It is on the webpage. You can download it into a document, or it's live. All the information there is on the website. But that is a great tool that you can use to start out as you're beginning to think about your triennial assessment. So this is a QR code. So if you did want to go directly to the web page for those resources, you can scan that code there. I know this is a very brief overview, but we do have also on the webpage all of our Winning at Wellness webinars. So if you're looking for specific Q&A, answering your questions about the triennial assessment process, we have a webinar. If you're looking for a webinar on taking action and implementing WISC model into your policy, we have that available too. So a variety of resources. And also signing up for our newsletter is a really great way to continue to connect with us. And I apologize, I believe the QR code goes to the newsletter for those of you that already scanned it. So registering for our free quarterly newsletter is a great way to keep up to date on what's going on with the collaborative, new funding opportunities, and we also like to highlight those best practices going on in your community. And last thing, we want to hear from you. As we continue to develop our plans for the year, it's really important that we know, what are you hoping to accomplish? What are your goals? What's your experience level? And are there any tools that can support your work? So we do have a survey for today. And we do have a little raffle for a $20 Target gift card. So if you could please, scan the QR code and answer. There's about 5 questions, and then enter your name at the end if you'd like to be in the drawing for the gift card. But thank you for filling that out and really informing our collaborative on how we can support you in this coming year. So to wrap it up, A call to action, just making sure that we're building and continuing and reconvening our wellness policy, our wellness committees. We're developing an action plan to make sure that we're strengthening our policy language. We can utilize the triennial assessment template and the various wellness policy resources. Sign up for our newsletter, stay up to date with us, and stay tuned for our Winning at Wellness webinars. So I know we didn't have much time today for a Q&A, but I will be here all day and happy to answer any questions. If you have any specific needs that you're, or challenges that you're having in your districts, and how the local school wellness policy collaborative can be a support to you. So I want to say thank you so much for having us, and it's been a pleasure connecting with you all today. And as we close, it'd be great if our collaborative members, right before we break for lunch, if we want to come on up and we can take a group photo. So thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Take that. Thank you. So I'm actually going to go back 2 slides and put up that QR code, because once again, please take the short survey, because your input's going to be incredibly helpful for the collaborative to figure out how they can best support your district's local school wellness goals. Thank you so much, Bailey, for being with us here today to highlight the tools and resources. Of course, those webinars are going to be a great resource that the collaborative has available to support schools, districts, and partners implement these wellness policies. So we really appreciate you being here and all of the resources that you've shared.